Welcome back to Old War Stories with Uncle Jay. This one is entitled, Are You Denying Me Part of My Education? So this was back in my senior year of high school, which would have been 1996, 1997. It's a little scary to think I've been out of high school for 24 years at this point. Yeah, a little scary to think that. But anyways, English class. Ms. Casto. I hate this Ms. shit. We'll just start with that. I hate this Ms. shit because it's like, okay, so did you get divorced? Yeah, you probably did. Otherwise, you'd say Mrs. Because some people who are like widowed would still say Mrs., especially if they don't remarry. You know, it all depends on whatever this shit they do. With the hyphenated 6 different fucking last names and you don't know which one is theirs. So anyways, whatever it was, Ms. Casto had a red Nissan something or other. Maybe an Altima, I don't know exactly what. Anyways, the year was going on and this was her first year at this school. She was fresh out of teacher's school or whatever you want to call it. And her first year of teaching. So she had a bit to learn. First of all, she had to learn how to deal with rambunctious senior kids. That's number one. And number two was that she didn't know where she could bend the rules or even break the rules and get away with it. So we had some sort of report that we had to do for English class at some point of the year. Don't remember when or what. I seem to remember it was kind of nicer weather, so maybe it was like April-ish, maybe a nice day in March. Seem to remember it was a Friday, but I'm not certain on that. Not that it really makes any difference to the story. Anyways, on this day, we were supposed to have index cards or outline cards written up already, and while we were working on something else in the class, the teacher was going to call us up to her desk one by one and go over these outline cards. She said that there's no, you lose points if you don't have the cards at all, but you're not going to gain any points. But what she's going to do is, quote unquote, help you with your index cards in order to get a better grade on the actual report when it's handed in. So she's going around the room, and she's going in alphabetical order because that was most logical. So we get down to the K's. That's the K in the JK18 business there. So, okay. Get down to the K's. There's like 1 or 2 ahead of me. And I was a good student. I always got very good grades. I did very well in her class up to this point. So she says, Jason. And then she says, no, you're doing fine. You don't need any help. Next. So I said, excuse me? In the snottiest possible tone. And I stood up. Now, this was commonplace back in like the 50s in class, where if you're going to answer a teacher's question, you would stand up after raising your hand, But no, I stood up in class. And this is something that did not go on in any time I was in school unless you were leaving for whatever reason. You didn't really stand up. I stood up and I said, excuse me? Are you denying me part of my education? Are you trying to tell me that because I'm doing so well, I'm not worthy of your help to try to get maybe a 97 instead of a 95 or even 100 or whatever the hell it was? And I just went on this whole fucking rant. Now, meanwhile, the entire class stopped what they were doing, needless to say. And they were watching this, and they're like, wow, we didn't know that Jay could do that. Because I was always quiet. So she says, Oh, okay, why don't you bring your cards up here? I had threatened her also, which I failed to mention. I said, I'm going to go to the department head of the English department, and I'm going to tell him what you did. And I'm going to let him know that you're denying me part of my education, and that I'm not worthy of your help, and that I can't get the same benefits. Is this discrimination? Is it because I'm Jewish? Is that what it is? I went on this whole fucking rant. Anyways, she got fucking scared. I mean, really fucking scared. And she called me up to her desk, and we went over the cards, and she pretty much knew at that point that I was going to have to get 100 on this report, and that was that. And I did. She took out the red pen and wrote like one or two minor suggestions. But there's more to the story. I didn't go to the department head because she did end up helping me. But I really spooked her. And I spooked her really, really fucking bad. The part I didn't tell you was that she was pregnant. This is turning into a very, very sad story from this point on. So if you don't want to hear this part, you can tune out now, and I thank you for watching. After school that day, she got in her little red Nissan, and she went to go home. She didn't make it home. She ended up being very perturbed about this whole thing, and wasn't paying attention to the road. And this was before cell phones were really common in that. So this was not like I'm texting while driving kind of thing. She legitimately got totally fucking spooked that I was going to rat her out on this shit, and that she was going to lose her job, and how she going to afford to pay for everything that her baby needs. Well, she didn't have to worry about that either, because in the accident she got pretty banged up and was out for about a week or two, and ended up losing the baby in the process. She had a miscarriage. I have no regrets. I don't know how else to end this, so it sort of has to end on a sour note, but unfortunately, that's why this is one of those old war stories, because this is the kind of shit that went on. This was never, ever, ever supposed to happen. Ever. She could have asked, do you want to come up and show me your cards? Or are you good? No, I'm good. I don't care if I fail. Fuck this school. Fuck this class. I don't need your shit anyway. You could do that if you wanted. But she didn't ask. It was a requirement. And then she just discriminated against me because I had good grades. And I said, I'm not standing for that shit. So she got her just desserts. I don't know if you could even say that, because that's really kind of mean, but what she did was totally fucking wrong. I didn't want her to lose the kid and get into an accident, but that's on her. She made the decision. You know? She made the decision to say, oh, fuck him, he doesn't need my help. Let me take the easy way out. Well, there's your penalty. Death to your unborn kid, a crashed up, totaled car, and you're banged up too. Thanks so much for watching. Like I said, I hate to end this on that, but hey, wars don't end on a happy note. It's just one of those things. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.